This video is about how to recover from solo mum burnout. So when I say a solo mum, that's like a full-time mum, not single as in relationship status, but solo as in doing it on your own all the time, day in and day out, without any breaks or support. So for some people that can be really hard, and that can lead to a place of burnout, like a mental burnout, where you actually just get so sick of it that you just don't even want to look after your kids anymore, and it starts to make you really quite mentally unwell. So here is what I learned when I went through a bit of a burnout that helped me and can maybe help you as well. So the first thing that you want to do is find gratitude. Sounds like such a cliche thing, but it's actually, it's so true, because we start to focus on if you're trapped and you feel like you're stuck and you feel like nothing's in your control, but you need to be able to find things that you are grateful for. So one of the things that I started was a gratitude diary. So every night writing down 3 things that I was grateful for that day. So it can be three little things, even simple things like we have food in the house, we have a place to live, just anything, pretty much anything that you can find that you're grateful for. The second thing that you need to start doing is actually having some self-acceptance. So actually accepting your situation, not hating it, but actually being like, okay, I accept that this is my situation. Like, just actually accept it. Stop trying to fight it. Just be like, this is my situation. Just own it. Think of what things, yes, there are a lot of things that you can't control, but what are the things that you can control? Write down a list of what can I control. So that might be things like the way you bring up your kid, whether or not you go to church, whether or not you guys are, I don't know, vegan or meat eaters or vegetarian or anything like that. What can you control? The third thing that you need to do is to get some self-forgiveness. So that can lead to a lot of like difficult feelings, maybe about your kids, maybe you feel guilty about the fact that you're a single mom, and that can be really hard as well. Or you feel guilty because you start reflecting on, what could I have done differently, and how did I end up this way, and oh my god, I can't believe this is my life. So you need to actually have self-forgiveness. Forgiveness is so important because it's only hurting yourself. You're basically hurting yourself. So you need to actually be like, okay, I forgive myself for putting myself in that situation. I forgive myself for choosing the wrong person. I forgive myself for choosing the wrong person. I forgive myself for what happened to my kids. I forgive myself for my kids growing up with a single mum. Like, you actually have to repeat, and you have to repeat it daily. Like, you can't just be like, do it once. You've got to be like, do it a lot, so that you actually start to believe it. And the final thing that you need is belief that things can change. Now, this is the hardest one. This is, oh my goodness, I know all about this. Like, because once you become a single mom, you sort of feel like that's your life forever, because you can't really see how it's going to change, and I guess if the dad's not around, like, it just kind of starts to feel like you're in mum jail, like, this is my life for the foreseeable future. So you actually have to try and believe that things can change. So there are 2 things that I find that help with that. The first one is a small 3-letter word, which is yet. So, for example, you might say to yourself, like, maybe you really want to find a partner, not because like, you feel like you need a partner, but obviously it's like a natural human thing to want connection. Like, let's not try and disregard that and be like, we don't need connection. We do, we're humans. Like, let's not try and deny our feelings here. So you might typically say, I don't have a partner, but if you have yet at the end of it, you might say, I don't have a partner yet. So it kind of makes it feel more temporary, like the fact that you're a solo mom is a temporary thing. And then the second thing that I find that also really helps are affirmations. So affirmations and also manifestation. So affirmations is in like, if you're telling yourself, I'm never going to find anyone, I'm too old now, I'm going to be alone forever. You've got to think about, like, when you think those thoughts, you have to catch them and be like, kind of step back and observe the fact that you just thought that thought. So if you find yourself thinking, I'm gonna be alone forever, like you've got to actually be like, oh, okay, hold on a minute. Is that true? Is that actually true? Is that 100% true that you're gonna be alone forever? We don't know that. I mean, forever's a long time. So you've got to catch that and then turn it around and be like, I'm not gonna be alone forever. Like, I will find someone. Or, so just actually try and change it so that you change it into a positive. And then, so yeah, so affirmation. So actually telling yourself positive things and repeating them enough so that you actually believe them. So affirmations. And then along with that also comes manifestation. This is something that actually works. Like, and I wish I'd known about it a lot sooner, because manifestation is so powerful. Like, so manifestation is basically like leaving it up to the universe, but like believing something's going to happen. So I say to my daughter all the time, if you believe something's going to happen, if you believe it deeply and hard enough to the point where you believe that it's already happened, then it will happen. Like, the universe will make it happen. It just will. That's how manifestation works. So manifestation, when it comes to being a solo mom, is like, if your situation was different, and say you were not a solo mom, maybe you had met someone, what would that person look like? What would they look like? What would it feel like to be with them? What would they look like? How would that feel? Like, you actually have to feel it and imagine that it's already happened. And that's quite a hard thing to do, but you actually have to try and do it. There's a great app about it actually called Insight Timer, and that's really good for like guided meditations and affirmations as well. And obviously, you know, the last thing that you need to recover from single mom burnout is obviously time away from your kids. Like, if you can find someone to look after them, maybe it's a family member or yeah, I wouldn't say a friend, but like, you know, if there's like a family member, like maybe your mom or dad, etc., can take the kids and actually give you some space. I mean, you know what they say, absence makes the heart grow fonder, and it's the same with your kids as it is with everybody else. If you spend 24 hours a day with anyone, you're going to get sick of them. So you need to actually, you know, organize your life so that you do have small breaks away from your kids, whether that's just 2 or 3 hours a day at a preschool, or whether it's like, you know, a weekend a month, 1 weekend a month, or anything like that. But you do actually need to factor that in. It's obviously, we all love our kids, but also it's healthy to have small breaks from them as well. Otherwise you just get burnt out and mentally unwell. So those are the tips that I've got for now. I would love to hear your comments on this. Is there anything else you want to hear me talk about, or anything that you would love to share? Please put it in the comments below. And if you find any of these videos helpful, then feel free to subscribe. I'm going to be sharing everything I know about self-care and solo motherhood and just keeping mentally strong, because I feel like without self-care, we're stuffed. So feel free to subscribe. Bye!